If trading is the only thing you do all day, that's exactly the reason why you're still stuck. Most people in this industry will never tell you this because it's not about your strategy, it's not about your risk management, it's not about the systems you have, the way you read the charts. None of that, yeah? It's because you made trading your entire life. And that's problem can be your bottleneck right now and the reason why you're still stuck, especially once you become a full-time trader. Guys, basically, yeah, once I was like 3-4 years ago, once I was shifting to become a full-time trader, that's exactly what happened to me, and that's exactly why I solved it, yeah. And most people don't tell you this. Most people don't tell you this is the problem, yeah, because most of you think, oh, that's an emotional problem, or that's overtrading, or that's a strategy problem. Of course, overtrading have similar thing with this, but yeah, let's go straight to the point, yeah. Basically, once you become a full-time trader, you was working a job, you was in college or school, whatever, you drop out, quit, and then you become a full-time trader. Yeah, you become a full-time trader, you are profitable, that's really good, but that's exactly once the problem happened. That's exactly once you face this problem, because you don't have anything else to do in your day. You just have trading. You just wake up, go to the charts, mark your levels, wait for the markets come to you, execute, and then close the trade, and then just wait. Yeah, and that's basically all your day. And the thing you need to understand, especially if you are already in this level, if you're already a profitable trader, if you're already a full-time trader, or if trading is your own thing, yeah, like trading is the way you make money, trading is your identity right now, yeah, you want to make something productive in the day. Because imagine, you wake up, you go to the charts, you mark your levels, and the market is just choppy, yeah, the market is just in a range, in a sad ways. And sometimes that's happen, yeah, sometimes is a no trading day. And of course, the days you don't take trading is also trading day, because you are preventing yourself to take a loss. That's how you need to view things. And once you become a full-time trader, you don't want to like be doing nothing, yeah, unproductive. So basically, you want to make something for the day. You want to be productive, yeah. If you're just trading, guys, that's exactly where the problems happen, yeah. Because literally, once you become like with your anxiety high, once you see the things and literally you don't have nothing to do because you already mark your levels, you already identify your ranges, you already identify your key areas, and now you just are waiting, yeah, without doing nothing. That's basically why you need to have something to do in your day without trading, besides trading. That's where it comes again, yeah, because trading just needs to be 1% of your life. Guys, right now, trading is like 1% of my life, yeah. It's a big part of my life, but not at all, yeah. I have a lot of things to do. I have a lot of business. I have to take care of the people I love. I have to travel to new countries, and that's why I do this so many things, yeah. Because especially if you're a trader and you spend 24 hours in the charts looking for opportunities, looking for ways to take a trades because you want to make something for the day, that's exactly why you're stuck. That's exactly why you have a losing month or a 2-3 months losing. That's how you are still profitable, probably, yeah. And guys, once you become a full-time trader, or once you are doing this for full-time, the most of your day, you understand that's the reason, yeah, that's the problem. So stop, try to look for a new strategy, stop to try to look for the better risk management, and start looking what you're doing day by day, because trading is 80% about your emotions, about what you do besides trading, yeah, and 20% is literally about trading. 20% is literally about know the market structure, know exactly the confirmations before entering the trades, have the pressure checklist, have the journal before, have the system you need to follow. But 80% is about the things you do besides trading, yeah, your own emotions, the things you do like besides trade. So that's the thing you need to understand, guys. Because the real problem is you don't have nothing else to do, and you wake up, you go to the charts, you have your areas, and then you sit yourself back and just wait. You don't want to like be unproductive in the day, and that's exactly where you see opportunities, where the items. That's exactly when you see setups that doesn't even exist, yeah, and you try to place a trade, and then you place a trade because you want to do something productive to the day, and the loss happen, yeah. You take a loss because you just force a trading that wasn't a trade in your setup, that's not a trading you use or take, so just force a trading, and then the loss coming. And once you had a loss, and basically you are like a full-time trader, you don't have anything else to do in your day, you're just trading, that's exactly when the revenge trading and the over trading happens. Because imagine, you wake up and you just sit back, the market is chopping, the market is without big movements, the market is just going in a range. You don't want to do nothing, yeah. So basically, your mind, your emotions go 5x, 10x high just because you are studying the charts. That's, guys, basically psychology. Yeah, that's basically how it works. That's basically how the market works. If you spend the most time in the charts, you catch more trades. Not exactly you'll be making more money, and that's exactly the problem I was having. Yeah, because once I become a full-time trader, I was thinking, man, right now I have my own schedule. I don't rely on anyone to tell me exactly what I need to do. I have my own schedule. I can be full-time on this. Yeah, so the most time I spend on the charts is I'll be making the most money. And guys, that's completely the opposite. Guys, it's not about the most time you spend on the charts. It's about the less time you spend on the charts and how you filter your trades. Yeah, how many trades, quality setups you take. That's basically what defines a profitable trader and separates an unprofitable trader. Because once you identify your ranges, your key areas, and wait for the market coming to you and sit back and have the discipline to do nothing, that's where you see the real shifts happen. Yeah, most people ask me, Samir, where exactly, when happened the shift to become profitable? Guys, it's not overnight. It's a process. You have a system, you have your discipline to follow it day by day, and you look back and you see, oh, I'm in a winning streak. Yeah, my PNL is green for at least like 1 month, 2 months, 6 months, 1 year, and you're just looking at what's working on double down that. Yeah, it's about filtering. Trading, it's all about data, guys. It's not about the money you make. Forget the dollars amounts. Yeah, work with percentage, because if you have $100,000 to trade and they have $500,000 to trade, forget the dollars amounts. Yeah, just looking at the percentage, and then just look at the data. Yeah, look what's working, look what's not working, remove what's not working, double down what's already working. Yeah. And if you spend all day in the charts, you just want to be productive. You want to make something today. Because imagine, you will wake up, open the charts, and just spend all day in the charts, looking to catch some trades. And at the end of the day, you didn't do nothing. Yeah, you are thinking and feeling yourself like you are lazy, you are unproductive. Why? Because you did nothing. Yeah, and that's exactly where you need, and when you need, yeah, have something besides trading. Because if you wake up, go to the charts and spend all day in the charts, try to catch some opportunity, you're basically forcing trades. Because guys, the markets don't care about you. Yeah, the market is not going to show you some good trades just because you want to make money. It doesn't work like that. You have your areas, you have your ranges, you know how to identify your key areas, and your job is just wait, it's just to be disciplined. But you don't want to have these lazy aspects in your day. Yeah, so you want to make something, and then you just place your trades because your minds are comfort with these trades, because you think, oh, I already spent 5 hours looking at the charts, that's probably a good setup, because you are exhausted to be this much time in the charts. You take a trades, okay, and then the loss happen, and then what's happened? You take a loss in a day and you think, oh, I spent all day in the markets to take a loss, so I want to recover at least this morning. I ended up in the day break even. And then what you do? You try to recover the money. And that's exactly when the revenge trades happen. And you try to recover the money, take more loss. And that's how exactly probably you're facing this exactly cycle. Yeah, this bottleneck. And how to solve that, guys? It's simple. Just have something, more things to do in your day. Yeah, if you're just trading, guys, go to the gym, go to a business. Like, example, what I do for myself right now, why I create content, yeah? Why I have these YouTube videos? Why I post on Instagram? Why I have my own lead consulting? Why I take care of my students on one-on-one? Because of this, yeah? Because guys, if I just do trading, imagine, I had a month, beginning of the month, like 40,000 negative. Imagine with just trading, yeah, without anything else to do, 40K, like 40,000 negative, and I just, oh my gosh, I need to make this money back. I need to recover the money. I need to be profitable. That's exactly when, you're still unprofitable. That's exactly when you lose the most amount of money. That's exactly what's happening to me. And if you're looking to the problem I have right now in this way, if you bring this perspective, that's exactly the problem, how you can solve this. Because that's exactly what's happened to me. Once I start having more business model, like the consulting one, I have the real estate ones, the luxury car rentals one. That's when I plus all this business together. That's exactly when I started making more money in trading. Not because I was the most time in trading, but because I was less time in the charts. And that's the thing. If you look at all the biggest traders out there, if you look at all the people who really make money in trading, they spend, guys, less and less, least and least times on the charts. Yeah, so stop looking at trading as the more time you are in the charts, more money you're gonna make. It's completely the opposite. Start looking at trading, the more time you are in the charts, more you are able to get your emotions high. Probably you are gonna try to force some trades where they aren't. So the less time you can be in the charts, better. So ask for yourself, how I can make the most money, how I can still doing exactly what I'm doing, but spend less and less time in the charts. Simple, just open the charts, 10, 15, 20 minutes is all you need to see what's going on, especially if you use the higher time frame, see what's going on, set your alerts, put your key areas, set the alerts on TradingView, and just sit back. Close the charts, yeah? So you have the chart, just close the charts and get off, yeah? You close the charts, just get out the charts, do whatever you want, go to the gym, have some other business, go travel the world. Guys, that's how, yeah? I can say myself I'm a nomad, but that's why, because I love traveling the world. Why? Because if I just spend all day in the charts, guys, I'll make like even half of the amount of money I'm making right now, yeah? And that's exactly when the shifts happen to me. Once I start traveling the world, once I start taking care of literally starting my own leads consulting, literally one-on-one, spends a bunch of time with my students, that's where I saw the most growth on my trading, because I was spending less time forcing less trading, entry in less trades, yeah, reducing my exposure in the markets. But once I entered in a trading, was literally the better trading one, was my quality setup, was the trading I was looking to catch, yeah? Why? Especially guys, look, you already probably, had this. You was traveling, or you was, some days without looking at the charts, yeah? 1 week, 3, 4 days without looking at the charts. And then once you come back to the charts, you take a trade, and this was like the perfect trade. This was I catch the best trade in my life. Why? You see, because I have this partner, this is not coincidence, yeah? It's because the less time you spend in a trade, the less time you spend in the charts, basically you have your levels, you have your areas, yeah, set up, and now you operate 100% in the system, 100% in the strategy, without your human emotions, without your emotions and your feelings placing in and take care of the trades, yeah? Because you're just following the system, you're just following the strategy. So first step, of course, you need to have a system to follow, yeah? You need to have a strategy, and that's exactly what I do here inside the One Lead Consulting. The consulting is basically me and you, one-on-one, face-to-face, literally me in your background, seeing exactly what you're doing, the steps you are stuck, the things you need to solve, the things you are doing wrong, or the things you are doing so you can, reduce the things you are doing to apply more quality things and get better results. That's exactly what I'm doing here inside the One Lead Consulting, building out this system for them and making trading fit your life, not the another way around, yeah? Not fit your life into trading, but fitting trading into your life. And that's the way you need to view things, guys, because once you understand these simple concepts about trading is only 1% of the day, yeah, you stop like being out there in the charts, because you understand all day spent in the charts, probably you just try to force some trades, you just try to catch some trades where they aren't, yeah, and then you just mark your levels, mark your areas, do the things you already do, yeah, but you're just disciplined to wait for the market to come to you. Because if you're just trading, and not because, guys, imagine you tell yourself, yeah, okay, I'm not spend any time more in the charts, but you don't have anything else to do. You don't have a sports to do, you don't have a business to take care, you don't have anywhere to travel, whatever. Like, you just are trading. Even if you tell for yourself, it's hard, because the money is in the charts and you just doing nothing, you want to do something in the day, you want to be productive, yeah, you go open the charts, and once you have a micro confirmation, yeah, not a confirmation, not a full setup, but once you have a micro one, you think, oh, that's the setup, where they aren't, and just get the trade, hit a loss, and you think, oh, I spent all day looking at the charts to head a loss, what am I gonna do? I will recover the money, and then the revenge trades happen. And probably you take a loss and you think, oh, I spent all this day to enter in trading, take a loss, and then take another loss. I want to recover this money to at least end the day and break even. That's exactly once the overtrading happen. And you see, it's not about the strategy. It's not about you don't know how you can reach the charts. It's not about because you don't know something in trading. It's because you just, like putting yourself in the position to do more mistakes. So once you reduce all these possibilities to make mistakes and just focus 100% and follow the systems you already have, that's where you see the profits, yeah? That's how you see you get like 10x, 5x, 20x more money you're making right now. That's exactly what's happened to me. Once I become a full-time trader, once I quit my job, once I quit the college, once I quit all this, once I quit the high school, I didn't, go to college. So once I quit the high school, once I quit the 9-to-5 job, the paint job, the construction job, I was heading and just become a full-time trader. That's exactly when I saw the big difference, because I was already making like 2-3x the amount of money I was making my job, and I was thinking, oh, I'm good, I finally get it, I finally done it, I'm a full-time trader, thanks God. But once this happened, I faced another problem, that exactly this, I was just doing trading for life, doing trading as my main source of income. I was literally doing trading, just, trading was my identity, I was just doing trading. That was the problem, because that's exactly when I had my second, worst month, like right after I become a full-time trader. Why? It's not coincidence. It was because I was spending all day in the charts. And once I realized, oh, I'm spending all day in the charts and making less money, let me try to do the opposite. And that's exactly once I start new business, that's exactly once I start traveling the world, and that's exactly once I saw the biggest profits coming. That's exactly once I saw my biggest P&L months coming. Once I just did other things in my life. So nice thing, guys, like right now in these moments, if you're already like a full-time trader, just stop everything you're doing and just go search another thing to do. Go search a new gym to go try a new sport, go travel somewhere, because if you're already profitable, you already get some money, so book a flight, man, whatever you want, go to anywhere on the road, spend 1 week there without trading. You'll see, once you come back, you'll be like amazing of the profits you're gonna make, trust me, So guys, that's insane how it works, because these advices I'm giving to you for free in this channel is crazy, because that's exactly what changed for me. Because everybody here on YouTube talks about strategy, talk about mindsets, talk about psychology things, talk about your risk management, but no one's talk about exactly what's happened once you become a full-time trader. And if you're not a full-time trader yet, if you're working a job and doing both, you're like trading and still in a job, that's good, because you already have your job to take care, and once sometime you get opportunity to see the charts, you see, that's good, because you don't spend all day in the charts. If you trade in the right way, that's the thing. If you trade in the right way, have the right systems in place and still work on job, guys, not gonna lie, that's the best place you can do, At least, like most people ask me, Samir, where the point and where exactly is, when I can quit my job, when I can quit my job and become a full-time trader, guys. What I recommend, what I did for myself. So that's exactly what I did for myself. And literally last month, we just had 3 students inside the Only Consult to become a full-time traders as well. And what these 3 students did, basically, someone was working in an office job, someone was working as literally a lawyer, and someone was working literally a construction job. So 3 different type of guys, but all day inside the consulting, all day with one access, and all day become profitable full-time trader. Why? Because once you are working on job, you have less time in trading, and that's good, because you don't spend all day in the charts looking for setups, trying to forcing trades. You know how to trade, so you have your levels, you have your areas, wait for the market coming to you. And imagine you're on a job, you have your trading view sends the alerts for you. What you do, you open a trade and then hop off the charts. That's exactly how I made money in trading. Less time is more, you filter the trades, you have a confirmation entering a trade. Because guys, imagine the ideal scenario is you open the charts, see what's going on, identify your key areas, mark your levels, just put the alerts and hop off. Do whatever you want to do. If you're working job, go work. If you're a full-time trader, go whatever. Buy a supercar and just go driving by. That's exactly what I do. So sometimes I don't have nothing to do in the charts. Probably I will hop on one calls to see how my students are going, or just picking up the McLaren and just go around. That's exactly what I do. So basically, every time you are in the charts, look at the charts, probably gonna lose money, because you're just putting yourself in the position, in the worst position, because you're just putting yourself to the position to make a mistake. So try to reduce the things you can do to make a mistake. So not ask for yourself, what's the things I can do to become profitable? Ask for yourself, what's things I can do to become unprofitable, and avoid all of them. Once you do this week, that's how it's way easier to be in the place you want to be. You see? So if you're working on job right now, guys, and you want to be like a full-time trader, just if you try to do both and stick to both for a long time, that's good. Yeah, if you can succeed on trading and still work on a job, that's good, because you have another things to do in a day, you have more money coming in, so don't rely all on trading. That's the thing as well. If you just be a full-time trader and like don't have another source of income, guys, imagine you just rely on trading to pay the bills. Yeah, so you try to force it up. So if you have your job right now, that's a good thing, because you already have the money to pay your bills, you already have the money to do your stuff, so don't have this pressure on you to take a trades, you see? So that's good, yeah? But imagine you want to become a full-time trader and quit your job. What I recommend, guys, at least once you start making consistency, yeah, 5, 6 months, 2, 3x the amount of money you make on job from trading, that's where you can just quit and be a full-time trader. That's exactly what I did, yeah? Once I was working a construction job, back then, like I can say like 3 years and a half ago, literally I was making $5,000 a month. $5,000 a month, work as a construction job, doing whatever, guys. All the things, the crazy things you can imagine I was doing, yeah, just to make some money. And I was using this money to invest in myself, to take trades, yeah. Place trades. In the first 2 years I was just blowing it all because I didn't have the knowledge, I didn't have someone to guide me, so I learned it in the hard way. Of course, you can learn a lot, guys, in YouTube video, especially in my channel, yeah. This video right here, these talks, like almost no one tell you this, yeah. But of course, if you want to get faster and better and faster results, just go to a coach, yeah. Just go to a one-on-one access with someone who's already there and just can guide you hands by hands, yeah. So basically 3 years ago, 3 years and a half, once I was in my job, make $5,000 a month, I was thinking, oh, once I start to make 15, once I start to make 10, even 10, yeah, $20,000 a month, I'm in a position so I can quit my job. And that's exactly what's happened, yeah. Once I started making $15,000 consistency from trading, I literally decided to quit my job and become a full-time trader. Just make $15,000 a month trading, yeah. So guys, that's the thing you need to realize. You don't need to aim for 1 million, 100K, 200K, just how much you make your job, just see 2, 3x of that, try to make this consistency from trading. Until there, do both, still doing the stuff you're doing, and just putting trading as on the side, because guys, trade should be just 1% of your life. If you try to become a full-time trader, to spend all day in the charts, if you have this misconception in your mind, once you become a full-time trader, you have more time to spend in the charts, guys, I'm telling you, this time exactly when this happens, it's gonna be a worst month, because you have all day in the charts, so you're gonna like put yourself in the worst position to take a trades, you see? So that's the real talk, guys. That's the real thing. I wish I had, you know, someone to tell me once I become a full-time trader, once I made the decision to quit my job to become a full-time trader. I wish I had someone to tell me this, yeah, and didn't have it. So that's why I'm not here as you know, a YouTube guy. I'm not here just as a random guy, guys. I'm telling you this like bro to bro. If you've seen this video, I'm telling you this as you are my friends, yeah. I'm literally talk with my old version, with my past version, yeah, and literally as a mentor as well. So that's the thing you need to understand. Once you become a full-time trader, less is more. So ask yourself, how I can make the same things I'm doing in less time in the charts? How I can reduce my risk, reduce my exposure in the charts, reduce the time I'm in the charts, and make the same amounts of money. Or once you do that, you'll be making 10, 20x amounts of money you're making. It's not because you change your strategy. It's not because you change your risk management. It's because you spend the less time in the charts, so you are filtering your trades and following the system. And that's the thing, guys. Most times you had something like holds you back. Most time you are stuck. Ask yourself, I'm doing all the things I need to do, because as a trader, the most common things you see is once you are stuck, once you are in a position, you are just unprofitable, having losing streaks, nothing is like happening a good way, and you think, oh, it's all worse, it's all, you know, like not in my direction. What I need to change? Ask yourself, I'm doing the things I need to do, because most times you are stuck. It's not because you don't know something, it's because you're not doing, you're not applying all the things you know. So before you try to search anything new, ask yourself, the things I know and the things I have to follow, I'm doing all this? If the answer is no, just guys, go and follow it, yeah? Go and be disciplined. Like, surround your day and make your day plan to fit this system, yeah? And that's why you need to have a systematic process to follow, because if you don't have that, you just wake up, go to the charts, and you don't have a systematic process, so you don't know exactly what you need to do. So if you don't have a direction, anything to happen is a good direction, yeah? So that's the thing, guys. Imagine, if you don't have a way to go, any way you have is a good way to go, you see? Same thing in the charts. If you just open the charts, you don't have a systematic process to follow, anything you see in the charts, you think it's a good thing, yeah? You think it's a good setup. So you think, uptrend or manipulation, think, oh, okay, I can catch a trade in this without have system in place, without have your quality A setup, yeah, you don't know what is your quality A setup, you don't have your risk measurements, you don't have your confirmations before entering a trade. So if you don't have a clear direction, a clear systematic process, you don't know exactly the things you need to be looking at. So everything that's happening, you think that's good because you don't have the right direction. So you open the charts, you don't know exactly what you need to do, you are confusing, yeah, you are uncertain, you know some strategies, you know some things in trading, but you don't know exactly what's really works and what you need to focus. So you open the charts, see what's going on, and just, okay, let me try this. And one time works, once works, 2 times works, 3 times works, and then, yeah, you try twice, you try 3 times, you try 4 times, you try 6 times, and then, yeah, it's not working anymore. Why? Because you don't have a systematic process. You're just guessing. You just know, yeah, it's not about knowledge. You know the things, but you don't know how you can filter. You don't know exactly what works and what's not works, yeah? So if you know exactly what works and what doesn't work, and you filter by that, you filter, oh, I know that's exactly the best thing I can do for myself because that fits in your specific situation, yeah? For myself, something works in that way and it's good for me, but probably for someone else, another thing works best. So it's not like exactly a copy and paste thing. Guys, I can't tell you, oh, I'm doing this and this and this, and that's gonna work for you exactly. No, that's personal, yeah? And that's exactly, again, that's why I have the one-on-one consulting, because it's one-on-one. It's literally me in your background, seeing exactly the way you trade, the things you know, and literally building a systematic process so, you know, fits in your life, fits in your personality, yeah? Fits in the way you can apply. Because, guys, doesn't matter if you have the best systematic process in the world, you can't follow. Doesn't matter. So you need to have something you can follow and you can apply day by day. So once you have a systematic process and you open the charts with clarity, you open the charts imagining, you open the charts knowing exactly all the things you need to do, know exactly the ranges, know exactly your key areas, know exactly the things you need to be looking at, and know exactly the confirmations you need to be waiting. And you know, you are so certain about the things you see in the charts, and you know exactly what the market's gonna do, and once this happens, you push the trigger, execute without thinking. Guys, that's how your trading day should look, yeah? So that's exactly why trading doesn't need to be your whole life. So if trading is all the things you do in your day, change this now. Yeah, stop this video before, of course, go subscribe, put a like button, put exactly in the comments the things you see the biggest shifts in your mind seeing this video, and if you want to apply for the one-on-one consulting to work one-on-one with me, having me exactly in your background, see the things you're doing wrong so you can switch and have, you know, more profits, and literally see the things what's not working, what's working, to double down what's working, and see exactly how trading and how I can build that for yourself, this system, so you can literally go to the charts and have clarity what you need to do. Just apply the description, have the link down below, and of course, if you have any doubt, just send me a message on my Instagram, the link is down below as well. I personally reply to all my DMs. I will see if you're a good fit to the one-on-one consulting as well. So yeah, this video is out, guys. See you in the next one.